think I'm gonna move over here. Yes. And while I move over here, I think I'm going to charge my phone. You know what, JK? Actually, we're gonna go on a field trip. We're gonna move into my bedroom because the phone that I have to charge, the charger is in my bedroom. Oh, that's the wrong side. You know what I'm excited for this weekend? I'm a sucker for buffets and I'm a sucker for all you can eat. And I'm especially a sucker for sushi. My favorite restaurant that did all you can eat sushi stopped doing it. Like, they don't do it anymore. And so I was like, dang, where can I find more all-you-can-eat sushi? Where can I do that? And I just realized that there is a place that I could probably get to without a car, because we are carless, where I can eat all-you-can-eat sushi. And it's affordable, and it's not like, you know, serve yourself. You gotta walk over to the buffet aisle and like serve yourself. They come out with plates and they give you the food. I'm so excited, and I have money that I can comfortably spend going to that place. I am excited. That's something I'm thinking about doing this weekend, having some sushi. All you can eat sushi. Welcome to my channel. Hi guys, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Exis and this is my channel Exis Does. And if you were to ask me what I do on here, it is somewhere in between. What is it somewhere in between? What it do? Usually commentary, but we're experimenting with vlogging, and as always, my best. I'm always doing my best. And today I want to have a little rant and talk about Black girlies in pop music and why we don't have one. Because I feel like it is a big argument that a lot of the girls on the internet have been having about why we don't have a Black pop girl. And I'm also seeing this conversation go around a lot because of the rise of some of the pop icons out now. Chaperone, Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, and of course for 2024, Sabrina Carpenter. Also some natives like Charlie XCX getting her like resurgence back into the mainstream as well with her Brat album. Oh, and Tate McRae as well. And then Addison Rae with her Diet Pepsi song. But overall, pop music has been looking very white lately, and it's been ran by the girls in pop music. It's been ran by the women, and they are running circles around all of us with the hits that they have. And I will say, and I've said this before, there was a severe drought in pop music from about like mid 2010s to like now. Maybe Billie Eilish was holding it down a little bit, but that's when pop was like a lot more serious and brooding, and it wasn't so much just fun and dance around. I remember like going on like this Britney Spears journey and wanting to be in a place and time where Britney was in her prime as a performer. I think this was after I truly started appreciating the talent of performance. So I want to say this was like right around Beyonce did her Beychella performance, which was amazing, and how much FOMO I felt not being able to see that. And so I just went down the rabbit hole and looked at a bunch of old pop artists who had really good eras, really good rollouts, who were just really focused on performing. And I realized what we were lacking at that time is the artists don't really have rollouts like they used to anymore. I was watching footage of Britney Spears performing in her Las Vegas residency in 2018, and she looked over it. And now we know that she was 100% over it. Like, she did not want to be there. But just thinking about like how big of a performer she was in her prime and how great she was at, you know, like her body and like dancing and getting into it, and like what happened now where she still dances, but like she, you know, she's kind of gone through it a little bit. And I just thought, dang, what I would give to be able to go to, was it her Onyx tour? Like right before the world decided to hate her, what I would give to just be able to go to one of those tours. And then even Janet Jackson, one of the pillars in pop, what would I give to go to the Velvet Rope tour? I feel like that was one of the tours that kind of changed the game for performances and performers and artists in their performance ability. Or even just to go to a Beyonce tour right when she was getting started. I would kill to do that now. And I was thinking that with the rise of artists like Sabrina Carpenter, you know, and seeing her perform in her tours, something I will say is that she has the charisma that we haven't seen in a lot of pop artists for a while, with the exception of the Black girlies that are trying to get into pop music. And it made me think, why aren't the Black pop girlies getting their flowers? Why aren't they getting the rollouts they need? Why aren't they getting the push that they should have? Meanwhile, I see Espresso on my repeat list as #1 on Spotify for like God knows how long. It's fighting in the Billboard between Chaperone's Good Luck Babe, and I'm just like, where are the Black pop girlies? Where are they, and why don't we have them? And the Black pop girlies that we do have currently is just Beyonce as one of the biggest mainstays in pop music. But and Nicki's more hip hop now. I don't think she's doing hip hop like that. Doja Cat, depending on if you want to call her biracial, Black, I don't care. But Doja Cat is a hip hop artist now. She's not doing pop music like that, and quite as kept, she never really was a pop artist to begin with. She always was interested in hip hop, just saw the marketability of pop music. Doechii, she does dibble and dabble into pop music every now and then, but her strong suit is her bars and her ability to rap. And then you got artists like Normani, Chloe Bailey, Halle Bailey, Chloe and Halle when they were doing music together, Victoria Monet, Tinashe, and am I missing someone? I also, SZA. I forgot SZA. Excuse me. That's just like, SZA's R&B, but like when she wants to be, she can make a cute little pop hit. Like, let's talk about it. Was Kill Bill an R&B song? No, it wasn't. That wasn't an R&B song. That was a very like, you know, alt indie pop sounding song. Like that SZA's in there too. My queen, my love, I love her. Yeah, sorry about that. I was listening to this TikToker talk about why they feel like Black pop girlies don't get the love and recognition that they need. And they mentioned that we as the Black consumer don't enjoy them, or we're hypercritical of them. And to an extent, I agree, and we'll expand on that in a little bit. But I also feel like a lot of these labels are, one, losing a ton of money. They don't have money like that anymore. And I feel like it's because, as I said many times on my channel, music is in competition with so many forms of entertainment, it's not even funny. Music is literally in competition with people who look like me, sitting in their accent chair in their bedroom, ranting about Black pop girlies and getting millions and millions of views and making a buttload of money doing so. Like, that is what music is competing with. They're competing with streamers. They're competing with people who have developed strong parasocial relationships with their fave creators. And it's a lot harder now. I also think that streaming has done a ton of damage to the music industry because there's not a proper way to gauge whether or not a song is good if an artist's team keeps fueling bot streams to get their song to go #1. Hence the reason why we see a lot of songs reach #1 or debut at #1 on the Billboard but then drop off immediately. Songs aren't staying at the Billboard for months and months at a time. They'll just sit there and then they'll drop off unless you have a really prominent fan base, which is another reason why I think music is changing, because it's more like sports now. It isn't about, oh, I like Taylor Swift, her music's cool, that's awesome. I like Beyonce, her music's cool. I like Nicki Minaj, her music's okay from time to time. It's like literal teams. Let's stream Cruel Summer to get it to the #1 on the Billboard, and let's have that sit for 5 months at a time. Maybe not even because Cruel Summer is a good song. Or even like with Nicki Minaj, let's buy all her copies, let's buy all of Pink Friday 2, let's stream her music, not because we think it's good, but because it's Nicki Minaj. There is a lack of critical consumption when it comes to your fave artists. It's more like, let's just support them by buying all their shit because it's them and we like them. Or even in some cases, let's support the person going against the person we don't like because it's them or because my fave told me to. You know what I mean? Music isn't what it used to be anymore. Not me sounding like a boomer, but it's the truth. Music isn't what it used to be. Music is very much so focused on numbers, algorithm, and fan bases. is maintaining the numbers of the algorithm. Music is just different. It's very hard for people to sell hard copies of their music if the music is so easily accessible on streaming, and it's very hard to make money from it. And I think one of the reasons why a lot of us aren't seeing a push from our Black pop girlies, similar in the way we saw Tyla maybe get pushed a little bit, is because a lot of these labels aren't willing to invest money into them. A lot of these labels aren't willing to put payola to back their career. And I don't think that they believe in their Black talent the way that they should. But this is where I'll also be critical about Black people as well. A lot of y'all are really mean to the newer Black pop girlies. Some of y'all are very, very mean, especially the younger ones. Chloe Bailey, Normani, even when Tinashe was coming out, y'all were like roasting her existence, all because she said there needs to be more room for pop girls outside of Beyonce and Rihanna. Y'all are really mean to them. And I think you think that you want that crazy in love moment. Beyonce's marching down a back alley street somewhere with the blaring horns, and you're like, history is made. And every time after that, there's like a big era or rollout with Beyonce or Rihanna, where she came out with her self-debut title, and then she did her Good Girl Gone Bad arc and then became like this fashion icon of some sort. I really do think that's what you think you want from these artists, without realizing that music was way, way different back then than it is now, and these labels are just not investing in artists in development in the way y'all saw your faves do back then. And I think that's the problem. A lot of you guys are comparing the new Black pop girlies to the Beyoncés and the Rihannas of yesteryear, not realizing that Beyoncés and Rihannas would not be the Beyoncés and Rihannas of their time if they did not have the resources that were allotted to them, that were afforded to them, okay? And let me expand on that. Do not hate me for this. I love Beyonce down. I love her down. I remember the first time I listened to Crazy in Love, Baby Boy, and Naughty Girl as a kid, when I knew I wasn't supposed to listen to any secular music on a 5th grade field trip. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a cultural reset for me. And I knew that this woman would be in my life. Like, I would see this woman take on and skyrocket for the rest of my life. Beyonce took me through middle school when I was allowed to listen to secular music. She was in my life in high school when she was on her Single Ladies Sasha Fierce era. She shocked me with her self-titled debut and didn't say anything. And I finally knew history was being made during that Beychella performance in 2016 when she did an homage to HBCU. Let me tell you something, okay? Beyonce Giselle Knowles-Carter, I love her down. I do. But I will say that you don't become a Beyonce without having a team, a family, a mother, a father, and maybe even a partner that can pull a couple strings to get you there. If that was the case, we would have so many more Beyoncés. What, you think that Beyonce's the only woman that could sing and perform and work super, super hard in the way that she does? Do you think so? Really? Look at Chloe Bailey. Look at Chloe Bailey. Chloe Bailey is like, okay. She's basically perfect cell, guys. Like, I'm so sorry. Like she is the Beyonce formula perfected a little bit. Like, vocally, she has the chops that I don't think Beyonce had at her age, at 23. Performance-wise, she is such a fun time. And she produces her own music. Like, she is like a perfect cell of Beyonce a little bit. But the thing is that she's not getting pushed that way. And I think one of the reasons is because she does not have the team, the resources, even the money. And she's even talked about not having enough money for this rollout to move in the same way that Beyonce was able to early on in her career. Chloe and Halle came out in a time where music is literally competing for the attention of so many other media and entertainment now. Ungodly Hour. Leave a comment if you remember the Ungodly Hour era. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not know much about Chloe and Halle until Ungodly Hour. One of my friends put me onto their album. I gave it a listen during the Pandemonium when we were all inside. That was amazing. R&B are in pop perfection. Perfection. Why did it not even get nominated for a BET award? No push. I think maybe Beyonce shared their album on her story, but after that, no push. No push. That album was amazing. That should have been the album to catapult them into stardom. That should have been the album that everyone like paid attention to these girls and were like, no, they are not to be reckoned with, all right? But it didn't. And everybody I know who has listened to that album said it was amazing. Chloe Bailey has so much potential. And everybody I know says she has so much potential. But things aren't being moved. People aren't pushing her enough. Now you have Chloe Bailey literally competing for the attention of viewership of artists like, I'ma say it, Ice Spice, who threw it back in a circle one time too many and is talking about poopy and farts in her songs to go viral. Like, what are we doing? Music is not what it used to be anymore, I feel like, because it's not investing in talent anymore. They're investing in viral hits and they're treating artists like their products rather than respecting the vision that they have and capitalizing off of the vision of the era and the moment that artist has. It's not fair when you see someone like Sabrina Carpenter, who has a clear encapsulation of her vision for what the short and sweet and short era tour should be. I really want to go to that tour, by the way. Like, that tour looks amazing. I'm not even gonna hold you. Miss Mamas has a whole set, like a whole Broadway set for the short and sweet tour. It's like a play with her songs. They're out there in the middle doing like Spin the Bottle. There's 5 songs that she picks from. They do the Spin the Bottle to see what song, and then she sings it. Like there's a story, there's a plot, there's a beginning, a middle, and end, a whole ass set, a genre, an aesthetic. Like, why aren't the black girlies getting that? Like, the label believes in her, right? Like, they believe in her. They're like, yeah, you want to give a theater kid budget? Yeah, like, go ahead. Have this whole entire set. We don't care. And it's just like, well, dang, like, can Chloe have like an inkling of that? Normani. Okay, a lot of y'all will chew Normani up because you feel like she's not taking music seriously. If you just go on the internet and look up what's going on with Normani for like a few minutes, like just a couple minutes of your time, you realize, one, she had a lot going on with her family, like her parents both having cancer, okay? You also realize, two, Normani, while being the face of her brand, isn't in control of how her brand moves. Her label is. And so if she has a music video like Candy Paint on her phone, but she can't release it, or she can't drop any vinyls, or she can't drop any CDs, or she can't drop any of the stuff she needs to succeed as an artist, and she feels like she's literally getting blackballed by her label, that all she can do to make money is post Polly Pocket brand Airbnb sponsorships. At that point, do you really think that it's on her? And then it's not even like her bandmate Camila Cabello is doing any better. Y'all will sit up here and put so much pressure and effort on like Ani, Chloe, won't even bother listening to Tinashe, who is giving you eras and giving you rollouts with the limited amount of resources that she has as an indie artist, but will drag the new pop girlies who are in their 20s still trying to figure out their sound and getting upset. Even Chloe told you there is no budget for this era. What do you want her to do? I wish that we would just give the black pop girlies a little bit more grace. I wish we would give them a little bit more space to grow. Sabrina had a fan base for like a decade, and she was figuring out her sound, and her fans just gassed her up back from the Lucy Gluckman days, okay? Why can't Chloe get that? Chloe princes in a G-string, and y'all are foaming at the mouth about how she needs to be more demure and mindful as a black woman. Normani gives you motivation once. Y'all want more. She's been telling you in more ways than none there's some shit going on with her label, and so y'all just don't support her anyway. Tinashe's right there, but like, y'all, I don't know if y'all are really supporting Tinashe like that. Victoria Monet doing great things. She's great, awesome, love that for her. And SZA is selling. She's selling and she's touring well. Where the fuck is Lana? Like, what is going on? And no, SZA isn't an R&B artist. She has R&B elements, but she is just an artist. She's experimenting with a lot of sounds. You're not gonna hear a Paramore-esque rock production and lump it in with R&B. You're not gonna do that. You wouldn't do that with Meet Me at the Altar. You should not do that with SZA, all right? I don't know. This is just a little rant. I've been having, because it's very annoying trying to track these girlies and seeing where they're going. I know Halle Bailey came out with her song I Love You Babe, but I mean, it was okay, it was cute, and she's taking her time, and I like that she's taking her time. Hopefully Chloe and Halle go back to making music together. I think they would kill it, like knock it out of the park if they made music together again. But yeah, like I said, with a lot of the way pop music and music in general is going, I'm gonna need us all to have some understanding that music isn't musicking in the way that it used to anymore. And these girls are literally competing with the attention of so much other media and entertainment, let alone their white counterparts. And it would do us some good to instead criticize them and be picky about how they choose to brand themselves early on in their solo debut careers, to just support them anyway, regardless. I know Tyla identifies as colored, so I don't think it would be fair of me to put her in the black pop girl category. But what I will say is, out of all the girlies, it felt like Tyla had the most push. That Tyla was like getting the proper artist and development she needed to perform. And it feels like the other pop girls did not. Even with Normani's Dopamine, there's so much stuff you can do with Dopamine, and I just don't understand why she isn't getting the success she needs as an artist. But it is what it is, unfortunately. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the world that we live in. Hopefully in the next couple years or so, we'll see these pop girlies really catapult into stardom. Hopefully what's going on with music right now really clears up the swamp to introduce newer talent in, because it's time for a change, quite frankly. And just a random side note, since we're talking about Beyonce, I hope she tours Cowboy Carter next year, because I want to go. Yeah, I want to go. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. And stop comparing these girlies to Beyonce when they don't got Beyonce resources. Okay? I'm not saying that Beyonce isn't talented and she doesn't work hard. She's incredibly talented and she works very hard, and she deserves to be a mainstay in the industry. But like, it was a different time when she came out. If Beyonce came out in 2024, I don't know. I think if a lot of y'all's faves came out now, I don't know if they would be able to make it, because the competition is fierce. Okay? Yeah, I think that's all I got. Let me know in the comments how you feel about black pop girlies, why you don't think they're taking off the way they need to. I would love to hear your takes. As always, my loves, do not forget to drink water. And I should probably drink it this time. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.